while, right? I realized I have like completely stopped doing reading vlogs, and I don't know why. Because for one, I like my reading vlogs. I enjoy doing them. And for two, everybody else always liked my reading vlogs. Like, it seemed to be something that everyone said they enjoyed on my channel, and then I just like fell off the face of the planet. Like, I've still been putting up videos, but not reading vlogs. So, sorry guys. But hey, today I'm starting another reading vlog. So you're going to get reading vlog content from me again, finally. Yay! And of course it's gonna be, you know, reading and life and kids and stuff like that. And I feel like this is a good time because it is summer. I'm working from home, so another change there. But it's summer and I have a little bit more free time and stuff like that on my hands. I have some trips planned because I'm ready to go places. Really, it's just like to the beach with my family, and we live in Florida, so it's like not like a big trip, but really excited for that. So I am captain of Team Demeter in the Shelf Space Readathon challenge, and our team's freaking fabulous. Like, we're gonna win this thing. We're gonna be the underdog, come behind kids. I wasn't supposed to be a captain. I was just gonna like skate through this time, but we had a lot of people sign up, and I was like, you know what? I'll do it. We'll go with it. And you know what? My team is freaking fantastic. I love that I got Demeter, because Demeter is like the food god. And y'all know I like to cook and I like to eat. So I thought it was perfect. And my team is so chill and I love them. And I have already finished one of my prompts. I'll show it to you. I got it over here. I finished Full Metal Alchemist Volume 1. This is the Full Metal edition. That was a gift from Leslie at the Nerdy Narrative for Christmas. And my only regret about reading this is that I didn't read it sooner, because it's freaking fantastic. And now I want to buy all the rest of the volumes. I think there's like 12 available in this edition, 12 or 13, and I want them all in this edition because they're really pretty. So, loved it. It was fantastic. It's a little weird. Like, reading my first manga was a little weird. Like, the story's not weird. But reading my first manga was a little weird because it's like you have to adjust to the fact that it's backwards from what us Americans typically think of, and it's just like readjusting my brain to like be like, okay, this is the first, like, this is how it's read from right to left. So that look, I still want to show you this because like it feels right, but it's this. So loved this, 5 stars. The next one I DNF'd, and that is Library of the Dead. And I didn't get very far into it, and it was a NetGalley arc, and I just could not get into it. It was like too Scottish, I guess. Like, it was very, there's a lot of phonetically written stuff that's a lot of Scottish slang, which normally that doesn't bother me, but man, it was just grinding me in this book. And then part of it, like, it felt like middle grade with cursing. Right? So it was like really weird to place. Like, is this adult? Is this middle grade? Is this YA? Like, it was just really weird to place that. And it just wasn't for me. Like, the main character is a 14-year-old girl who can talk to ghosts. And I also couldn't place like the time period. Like, is it future? Because it seems like futuristic, but like it could be in the past. Like, it was really strange. Right? But like, we've got this 14-year-old girl who talks to ghosts for a living, and like basically they get ghosts to pay them to relay messages to the living, and it's like certified, like it's a real job, and that's literally as far as I got. I couldn't handle it. It just wasn't for me. So sorry about that, but I'm about that DNF life. Currently, I'm reading and about to finish on my Kindle another arc, and that is Girl of Girl Made of Air. Yeah, Girl Made of Air. It's right here. This is my beautiful cover prompt, and I'm almost done. I am 88%. I literally have 30 minutes left in this book, according to my Kindle, and I'm liking it. I will definitely be doing a full review on this because it's pretty polarizing. It's not exactly what I thought it would be, which is fine. You know, it's just different. It's about this girl who is born into a circus in England, and she basically ends up like becoming the world's best or most well-known funambulist. I may be saying that wrong. That is a tightrope walker. Had to look that one up. But she's a tightrope walker, and it follows her, and it's kind of magical and whimsical, but then it's like really like modern, like common, I guess, common modern day. Like it's very not magical. It's not fantasy. It's kind of like historical magical realism, because it's like set after World War II in England. So that's where we start. And we just follow this girl throughout her entire life. And her name is Mouse, allegedly. That's all we know her by this entire time. I did not know that this book was written in memoir. So it's not, obviously it's not a true story. But we start out with a scene, and then we jump right, like the prologue, and then we jump right into our main character, Mouse, talking with a reporter in New York, and she's like kind of giving her a story, and that's one chapter. And then we go to the next chapter, and it's the rest of the story formatted in the way that Mouse writing down her life story for this reporter. And it's interesting. It was a little bit to get used to, because like I don't generally read like memoir style books, but I'm liking it. I'm not hating it. I'm really liking it. It's just, it's hard to like. It's definitely different. It's definitely something that is going to stick with me, but something I have to think about. It's similar in writing style to an Erin Morgenstern, especially since I just read The Night Circus, but not like super like magical like The Night Circus, but like the purpley floral writing is kind of similar to Erin Morgenstern. I could definitely see you liking The Night Circus. You'd like Girl Made of Air, but there's just some things about it that I'm like, but it's interesting. I'm excited to see how it ends, because she's recounting her story to this reporter. And basically a child was lost from the circus many, many, many years ago. And Mouse kind of leaves to find this child over the course of many, many years. And I have an idea. We haven't found out what happens to this child yet. Like, we kind of know, but not really. I have an idea of who this child is grown up, but obviously I don't know if I'm right or not. Like, we're gonna see. Like, I have something in my brain that I think might make sense and might happen, but I don't know. We might not find out, because if it's like Erin Morgenstern-y, like, it might be left completely open. Another thing that's bothering me is I can't tell how old Mouse is in present time. Like, it doesn't really say. I'm gonna have to go back and look, but like what time present time is and when she was born, and like I have to figure that out, because like part of me thinks this is her recounting it as an old lady, but part of me is like, she's not that old in this recounting, so not real clear. But I'm gonna finish it up and I'll let you know what happens at the end. Girl Made of Air. I'm so torn. What I thought was correct I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's literally, if you want to read this, like it's the whole gist. But I was correct in my assumption. So that was cool. And I actually really like how it ended. And reading like the ending, I realized she's not as old. Because remember I told you like I can't place her age. I'm getting like 30s, right? Like late 30s maybe. Seems about right, because I don't think she's like our main character. I don't think she's like super old when she's telling this, because she mentions like having much more life to live and and being free of her burden and stuff like that. So I think she's like in her late 30s. Seems about right, because she was pretty young throughout the whole like flashbacks. It was like her as a kid. So I'm thinking like 30s, maybe early 40s. Makes sense in my head if you read the book. But I don't know, y'all. I'm so torn between giving this like a 3 and a 4 star. Like I'm thinking 3.5, but like I want more people to read it because I want to talk to people about it. But like there's some really dark aspects that I wasn't expecting. Like there's definitely some content warnings for child abuse, suicidal ideations, suicide, sexual assault, lot of trigger warnings up in this book. So be warned, I did not know this, so going into this, be warned, this is not like a fun circus story, and it's a lot darker. There's mentions of the Holocaust and the atrocities that took place that I was definitely not expecting going into this book. But that's there. It's a very World War II setting. So that was hard. There was hard parts. But it was really beautifully written. It's hard to recommend this book, but I think I'm going to like contain my thoughts, do a full review of it, because I would love to talk to more people that have read this. I think it was really fun. Fun is a hard word, being with how dark this book is. I didn't expect it to be that dark. I thought this was going to be a fun circusy story, and it was not a fun circusy story, but it was still good. So I don't know. I'm rambling. It's late. So yeah, I enjoyed it. 3.5, 4, somewhere in there. And yeah, I definitely think you should pick that up. Now, I'm moving on. I'm going to start Ember in the Ashes. So, I'm trying to fly through some books, y'all. The only thing is, so I bought this. This is annoying. So, I bought this from Thrift Books, and obviously you can tell from the covering, it is a library copy. I can't take the dust jacket off while I'm reading, which is fine. I guess I could, but I'd be afraid to rip it. So we're gonna leave it on. I'm not even gonna try. So we're gonna start Ember in the Ashes. So that'll be, I finished 2 prompts. I DNF'd 1 book, finished 2 prompts. This will be my 3rd prompt. And I'm just trying to read as much as possible. So this is on deck next. Hey guys, it's been a long time, I feel like, since I've done like a car talk. You need a boy? Your boy's sleepy? I'm actually in the parking lot of the gym for gymnastics, which is why I'm looking rough. Like, so today was the girls' first day of summer camp, and I'm not used to this like change in routine, right? So I had in my head all day, I have to leave the house at 4 so we can get to gymnastics by 4:30. I have to leave the house at 4 so we can get, gymnastics by 4:30. I was wrong. I needed to leave the house at 3:30 so I could be at the school at 4 and then gymnastics at 4:30. So we ended up only being 10 minutes late, but I forgot her leotard. Like, it's on the kitchen counter. I didn't have time to run home and grab her leotard. So girls in gym, I dropped her off at the front door and like came and parked because the boy was sleeping. So I sent her into gymnastics with her stretchy shorts and a tank top on. Told her to tuck her tank top into her shorts and go for it, because it was either that or not be here at all. So I'm like, I'm sorry. It was such a chaotic, it was such a chaotic experience. But me and Sleepyhead back here are gonna sit here and wait. I thought about bringing an Ember in the Ashes with me because, like, obviously I'm reading that and I'm loving it. I made it like 82 pages the night I started reading it. It's so good, right? But now, since I'm in the car, I want to read Heretics Anonymous. So I brought this to, like, read for the hour that I'm waiting for gymnastics. Because that is my Team Demeter prompt that I'm doing. And I am the captain of Team Demeter. So I'm like, I need to make sure I read my Team Demeter prompt. So I'm going to start it. Because there's food on the cover. There's toast, which is obviously food, right? There's, like, toast. So yeah, we're going to get to that. And just one more. He's so cute when he sleeps. He needed this nap. He makes bedtime a bitch, but, like, sometimes he needs that 4 o'clock nap. Hey guys, so I've been really bad about updating for Ember in the Ashes, but I'm almost done. And I want to know what you guys are thinking. So I'm loving it. Like, obviously I've read this in like 2 days. So I'll finish this tonight. I might finish it tonight, like 100 pages left. I haven't flown through a book this fast in quite some time. And yes, it's YA, but last night when I was reading it, I'm just like finding myself being like, this should not have been YA. Like, I can see the YA elements that, you know, their age, but like the age of the protagonist doesn't necessarily determine the fact that it would be a young adult novel. This is just dark. This is some dark YA. Like, this is, honestly, what do y'all think? If you're reading this with me, what do you think? Do you think this should be YA, or should this be shelved as adult? I know there's like this new adult age range, and I don't know how I feel about that right now, because like I don't know, there's young adult and there's adult. Like, I don't know why there's a denotation of new adult, like, I guess because you're newly adults, but like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it's either young adult or adult. But whatever, there's new adult now, so that's a thing. I'm guessing this would be new adult, but like, that's not a real age thing. Like, it's not in bookstores that I've seen, so like, I don't know if that's like a real thing or just like a made up thing. I don't know. Marketing term, it's all marketing terms. Also, to get off on a tangent, am I the only one that gets really annoyed when people say YA is a genre? Because it's not. I thought about doing a whole video on that, because I saw something, I think it was in like a Facebook group or something. They're like, I want YA books. They're like, recommend me YA books. And you're like, okay. And people are like, well, what genre? And they're like, YA. But what genre? Oh, like YA. YA is not a genre. YA is an age range. Fantasy, sci-fi, etc. Genre. Middle grade, YA, adult, children's, age classifications. Right? Like, weird pet peeve that I thought I would share with you guys. But, I absolutely love this book. Like, what's his name? What's our main guy's name? Elias. He's glorious. He is so cute and so sweet, and he's like this badass, but he's such a cinnamon roll. Like, he's a badass cinnamon roll. That's what I'm getting from Elias. It's like, he really just wants to be a cinnamon roll, but he was like forced to be a soldier. So like, he's cinnamon roll soldier. He's like got a soft, flaky center, and I love it. And then Lila, girl, she is just doing what she has to do, and she is so much more badass than she knows. And I love it. I really love the characters. I have a feeling that shit's about to go down because I only have 100 more pages. So I'm really excited to see what kind of goes on. But yeah, hopefully you're reading this with me. I think I want to do a live show. I didn't do a live show for the Night Circus. I just did the vlog. But we need to do another Patreon live, don't we? I liked that. I liked it the day that we did, I did a StreamYard and just had people come on the StreamYard. Like, if you had the link, you could come on the StreamYard. So I think I'm going to do that again. Do it in, like, an unlisted or, like, a private YouTube video. And then just have whoever wants to come on and chat on the StreamYard because there's so few of us that we could all fit on the StreamYard. So I think I'm going to do that really, really soon. I'll have y'all vote on a day. Yes, I'm yawning. I'm so tired. But I really want to finish this book as I'm like sitting here like cuddling it. But we're gonna read. Hello again. We're back in the car. The boy is sleeping and the girl's in gymnastics. So I'm like, I'm just gonna sit here and wait. I forgot my book. I was gonna bring a book to read and I forgot it. So go me. I was supposed to be reading Heretics Anonymous, which I started and I'm liking, which is funny because, it's not fantasy, it's not sci-fi, it's just a contemporary. And y'all, like, I don't know, there's something about this book that I think is going to be really special because, like, literally in the first, like, 2 chapters, he's at a Catholic school, which I did not go to Catholic school. I went to a Baptist school, but similar. It's similar enough. It was cracking me up because one of the nuns was like, "You can call me sister," and he's like, "What is SR?" And she's like, "Sister," and he's like, and then the father, and he's like, "You can call me father," and he's like, "Getting a whole family, what's up with this?" And it was just making me laugh. And I don't know if it would make everyone laugh. I think it is a very specific personality you gotta have to like this. So far, at least. It's not like heretical or anything like that, like blasphemous, but like I'm liking it. It's giving me Saved vibes, and I love Saved. It was one of my favorite movies. Jenna Malone and Mandy Moore, like, I love Saved, and like not enough people have seen that movie or talk about that movie. It is like a cult classic movie, and it reminds me of growing up. Like, that's what my school would have been like had I gone through high school. Only my school was like, the graduating class was 7 people. Like, it was tiny. So it's like that on a tiny scale. I don't know what I'm talking about. Also, I don't know if I updated y'all. I finished An Ember in the Ashes. I loved it, and I want to buy the rest of the books. But I'm not buying anything until after my birthday's over. I cannot buy any books other than my book box books until August. But I really want to buy the 3. I want, like, the Fairy Loot ones, which I know it's, like, gone and done. I just think they're a really pretty special edition. I think the UK editions are really, really pretty in general. I really actually like the edition I have of Ember in the Ashes, which is, like, the OG American edition. And I think they made it in that one and then the second book. And then they changed the covers. Like, I have an old library one that I got from Thrift Books. But it was so good. I absolutely loved it. So yay. That was actually my Patreon pick of the month, and I finished it in like 2 days. So I need to finish my like reading vlog for that, which is going to be super short because I do like a Patreon only reading vlog. And yeah, I just flew through that book. It was so good. I loved how it ended. I loved it. I just loved it, y'all. There's nothing else I can say. I also started, along with Heretics Anonymous, was it Bridge of Souls? The 3rd book in the Cassidy Blake series. So cute. It's cute, sweet, ghostly, paranormal middle grade. This one, they are set in Louisiana. They're in New Orleans, and I made it like 50 pages in before I fell asleep the other night. It was so good. I really love V.E. Schwab, and I just think it's a really cute middle grade series. So I'm excited. Hopefully I'll finish that and Heretics Anonymous before Sunday. That's my goal. So I have, what's today? Thursday. So I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I can finish those 2 because they're quick books. They're shorter. So Yay! That's how my day's going. Now me and Sir Sleepyheads are waiting on Wills to get done with gymnastics while I can't read. And then I think we're gonna go out to dinner. So, starving. Hey guys, so I'm about to finish book number 3 of the Shelf Space Readathon and loving it. Middle grade is really perfect for reading for readathons, just so you know, because it reads really quickly. This is Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schwab. This is the 3rd book in the Cassidy Blake series, and it's so good. I'm loving the setting in this one. It is Louisiana, New Orleans, like it is fantastic. It's so good. I just love these stories, and I really want to do my reading and recipes literally for every book in this series so far, because we have Edinburgh is book 1, and they always talk about the food in the places they travel to. There's a big emphasis on what they eat and what they try in these new places. So book 1 mentions a lot of like fish and chips, and I want to do a fish and chips. And then book 2 is Paris, and they specifically mention like the pastries and the chocolates, and I really want to do like some kind of like chocolate pastry for that one. And then this one, of course, is New Orleans. There's mentions of a shrimp and grits, which I love, gumbo. They also are talking about beignets, and I'm like, I've never made beignets. I've never made gumbo. And I have made shrimp and grits. I love shrimp and grits. So I don't know which one I should make, but I think I'm going to do all 3 books as different reading and recipes, because like these are just perfect to do. And in this book we have a slightly bigger like big bad, and I'm really loving it. I don't know, I feel like V.E. Schwab did such a good job in this whole series about the locations, right? So much research into every single location. I'm pretty sure she travels to all these places where she writes about, so she can get like a really good feel for them. And I'm pretty sure she actually lives in Edinburgh, which is obviously the setting of book 1. And I can't really say too much because they're book in a series, but each one has a pretty like standalone-ish ending, but it continues, if that makes sense. Like it never has like a massive cliffhanger, but it is middle grade, so it's not like it's super high stakes, but this is pretty high stakes for a middle grade. So it's really cute. I'm loving it. After I finish this, I'm also gonna start, well, not start because I've already started, but I'm gonna read more of Heretics Anonymous. I want to finish that this weekend as well. So hopefully I'm gonna finish this and Heretics Anonymous. If I finish both of those, I don't know what I'll start next. I have a couple. Let's pull the card over, shall we? I will probably start Queen of Blood after Heretics Anonymous, because this is the one I'm like most excited to get to. But then I also have some arcs to get to. Well, I DNF'd one arc. I have this Poison Heart, I think is the name of the book to get to, which is the NetGalley arc. How many more books do I got for this readathon? I am not going to finish all these. So we've got Girl Who Drank the Moon, which middle grade I'm excited for. The Humans, The Disasters, All the Stars and Teeth. So that's 4 books that I still have to get to. Queen of Blood, Blame in the Mist. Oh, Queen of the Unwanted, and then I have Mother of All. So I have the arc of Mother of All. That's a lot of books I still have to read. That's a lot of books. I'm not going to make it through all 16 books. Like, I didn't expect to, but, like, it's really hard for me to be like, which one do I want to read next? Because, like, I want to read them all. But I'm thinking Queen of Blood is next because I want to binge the series. And then we're going to focus in on Queen of the Unwanted and Mother of All. So I can get arcs done. So, go Team Demeter! I finished it. It was adorable. This is going to be... It just knocked over my camera. Guys, so I finished Bridge of Souls. It was so good. It was so cute. I'm thinking this is 5 stars. Like, I just love this series. And now I can't wait to see where they go next. This is just adorable. Like, I love the way it ended. I love the friendships in this book. I actually really like the parents in this series. Like, they're not a huge part, but, like, they are. I like how they're, like, an actual, like, happily married couple that cares about their kid and, you know, thinks they're doing the right thing and parenting and this and that. So, like, I like that aspect. It's very mundane, but I really appreciate 2 loving parents that love each other and their kid and think they're doing the right thing even while trying to do their jobs and, you know, this and that. So, yay. And just the friendships in this book are adorable with our little ghost boy, Jacob, who is, like, my absolute favorite. I freaking adore him. He's just so precious. Little cinnamon roll. And then I love Cassidy. I love her friend Laura, who's, like, 12 going on 32. Like, she is the best. And the moments where you realize, like, she is only 12, even though, like, she acts so much older because of lived experiences, like, perfect. I think the kids actually portray themselves as kids, which I think is really important in these kinds of books. Like, I don't want to read about a bunch of 12-year-olds acting like adults. Like, yes, Lara, however you say, I think it's Lara or Laura. Like, appears older because of some lived experiences she has, but she also, like, shows you that she's still a child, right? And Cassidy is obviously still a child. Like, it's so good. I love it. I can't wait to see where they go next, because I don't know how many books are going to be in this series, but I'm sure it's not over. Like, it's not like a concluding book, but it's wrapped up real nicely, so it's not like, oh my god, cliffhanger, but it's like, okay, cool, I wonder where the inspectors are gonna go next. Like, it's just cute, right? So, knock another one off for the readathon for Team Demeter. We're winning, by the way. Did I mention that? We were in first place on week 1, and, like, nobody thought of us as a threat, right? Like, nobody. Because we were, like, the last team thrown together. We were the extra team, and I wasn't even going to captain because just chaos. But, like, we had so many people sign up. I'm like, yeah, sure, give me a team. Why not? And, like, they gave me Team Demeter because food, duh, the goddess of goddess. Is Demeter a god or a goddess? I don't know. I think Demeter is a god, but food, right? Like, food is our team theme, and, like, no, everyone's, like, talking crap about all the teams and Zeus and all this, and, like, they released the first week's score, and we're number 1, so look out for the underdogs. Team Demeter, we gonna get it. So yeah, now I'm starting my Team Demeter prompt. Well, I already started it, but you know what I mean. Not super far into it. Heretics Anonymous, and I'm actually gonna put the kids to bed first and then read some. Back again. So, I've been reading Heretics Anonymous. I'm already over halfway through this. Contemporaries read super fast, apparently. I don't read contemporary, so this is, like, super outside of my comfort zone, and I had to start tabbing it. I am loving this book. This is not going to be for everybody. Okay, for one, it's our Team Demeter prompt, which is read a book with food on the cover. 'Tis toast. I think it's hysterical that it's toast because of what it's, like, a call to, and that's, like, the Jesus grilled cheese or whatever. Grilled cheeses. I love it. So, I've mentioned this before. I went to private school. Like, super strict, not Catholic, like in this book, but super strict private school. And so many things in this remind me of what it was like growing up Fundy. Like, what it was like at a fundamentalist school with, like, the dress code and, like, the way they teach sex ed. And, like, I just, the colors don't mean anything. Like, I'm not that organized. I'm just, like, wanted to tab things that I thought were interesting, funny, that I remembered. I have found myself laughing out loud I absolutely love this book, which is crazy because it is not a fantasy or a sci-fi. It's a freaking high school drama contemporary, which is not my norm. I know this, but like literally they have a scene with Purity Paul where he's teaching sex ed. And it's literally the best thing ever. It's like stuff that I would have learned in school. Like, there is one. I tabbed some, like, just because they were, like, funny quotes. Oh, this one's my favorite. And it's, like, our atheist main character talking about the Immaculate Conception. And it's like, so basically, it was like, hey, little girl, you're going to get pregnant with a god baby, and everyone's going to think you're a cheating slut. Your fiance will try to divorce you. You'll go into labor in a stable, flee to Egypt later that week because everyone in power wants to murder you and your god baby. Don't worry, you'll get some sweet frankincense and myrrh out of it. I mean, he's not wrong. Where's the lie? And then when it talks about, I just love the Purity Paul part, like, oh my god, where it talks about like purity culture and how, like, it talks about how, like, in their presentation, it's like how, like, condoms fail so many times, which is, like, not true, and, like, HIV can get through the condoms, which, again, is not true, but, again, this is stuff that is actually taught. Like, it sounds crazy, right? But it's actually taught. Like, for real, I felt in my soul, okay? And I love it. It's a group of, like, outcasts. Like, they're all different religions, too. We've got the atheist, we've got the Catholic girl who wants to be the priest, so she's, like, a heretic Catholic, and then we have a gay Jew, and then we have a pagan, she's a Celtic, what is it? Celtic something reformist is what she calls herself. And then we have Max, who's, like, basically agnostic. He's, like, utilitarian, I think he calls himself. It's so good. Like, even if you're not a contemporary reader, I'm gonna recommend this. I'm probably gonna finish this tonight. Like, I'm on a thing. I'm on a roll, right? It's like 10 o'clock at night. I can finish this. It's short. It's like a little over 300 pages, I think. Yeah. So, it reminds me of Saved. And I've said that a couple times, but it really gives me those Saved vibes. Love that movie. Watch it. If you haven't watched it, please watch Saved. So I'm going to read more of this and continue tabbing it. And this is going to be a really fun standalone review, I think, once I film it. Hey guys. So I was editing and I realized I never ended this vlog. I never had like a final clip discussing everything. The last clip was like me talking about being almost done with Heretics Anonymous, which was a bit ago. So I finished Heretics Anonymous. I freaking loved it. I gave it 5 stars. Like, it hit me in all the places it needed to hit me, which is hysterical because, like, if this is a contemporary. This is not a fantasy or sci-fi. It is nothing like I normally read, but go pick up this book. It is so freaking good. Like, the ending of it was so good. I loved how it ended, how it wrapped up. Just, it was so good. It's like, it ended where it's like, not everything's perfect, not everything's fixed, but, like, we're getting there. And I just appreciated it. As somebody who's come from a background of being raised and going to, like, a private Christian school, not a Catholic school like this one, but a private Christian school, it just, I see so much of my upbringing in it in certain different aspects that I just love it. It was so good. 5 out of 5. I also, after that, started and finished another book. Right? And another 5-star book. Spoiler alert, but Queen of Blood by Sarah Beth Durst. I think this might have solidified that she's, like, becoming a favorite author, because I absolutely adored The Bone Maker that I just read this year, and this, Queen of Blood, so freaking good. A solid start to a new series. I have the other 2 books in the series and the standalone, like, spin-off that's set in the same world. And it's killing me not to pick it up because I have other books that I need to read for the Olympics Readathon. But I absolutely loved it. It's a really cool magic system. So we follow this girl, like it's Alina, through her entire life, basically, from 10 years old, like up, like the next like 10 years of her life. Up till she's like, I think 20 in when the story begins, right? With like the bulk of it. But we're following her, and in this world, it's like these people live in like the trees and in the forest, and like their cities are all built around trees. And honestly, I had a hard time picturing anything other than like Thumbelina sized people, but I think they're regular sized people in massive trees. But in my head, everyone's like the size of Thumbelina. So take that as you will. It's not what it is, because there's like animals like wolves and stuff like that. So it's not a really cool animal companion, but in this world, the spirits, like elemental spirits, are just violent and they want to kill and destroy, but they want to destroy and they want to create. So they want to destroy humans, but they want to create. But in their creating, they end up destroying because they're not kept in check. The queen of this world, this realm, keeps them all in check. And in this book, maybe the queen's magic is failing and it might be time to find a new queen. And we follow Delina in her time at this academy where she learns how to like control these spirits, and it's so good. I can't wait to see what happens next. Everybody has told me that book 2 will be my favorite because we get a new character and she is a mom and she has 2 kids, I believe, and I'm really excited. But I loved it. So, oh, someone's coming to say hi.
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 My name's Luca.
Yes,
and I got my backpack.
He's got his backpack on.
Yeah, and I can always sneeze it.
You gotta sneeze?
Yeah. Right, Mom? Love you.
Oh, I love you. All right, so we're wrapping up this week's vlog. You want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye.